Hi, we're Lisa and Angie. Welcome to another episode of Pep Talks and Prosecco.
If you like what you see and hear, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and share with your friends and family. We are all about building community.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Hey Lise, happy Sunday!
Happy Sunday to you! How are you?
I am good. How are you? How's that Prosecco tasting?
So good. So good. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, my friend.
So we have an exciting episode for episode 2 of season 3. Today we have Shannon Steeves, who is a certified life coach and the owner of Sweet and Sassy Boutique, here with us today. She is one of our flight crew, I would say. Mm-hmm. She has become a friend and really has been supporting us since very close to the beginning of Wotherwill Group. She does our swag and just a really great lady overall. And we're just so excited to have her on today because you'll find out in the episode, but she's actually responsible for kind of giving us the name Wing Women. And so why don't we just get right to it? We have an amazing episode in store. So let's just get to our interview with Shannon Steeves on this week's Pep Talks and Prosecco.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hi, Shannon. Welcome to Pep Talks and Prosecco. It's so great to see you. Cheers.
Hello, ladies.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Well, Shannon, you have been a part of the Wotherwill community, I feel, since very close to the very beginning. You have been a huge supporter. You have been a partner with us. Shannon does all of our swag for Wotherwill Group. She actually made the shirts that we're wearing today that have to do with our one word and our intentions and affirmations. So we are just so thrilled to have you on our show today. Owner of Sweet and Sassy Boutique in Regina, Saskatchewan, as well as a life coach. So Shannon, before we start peppering you with questions, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to becoming a coach and business owner?
Yeah, so growing up, I always actually thought I was going to be a teacher, like you ladies, like being a teacher. And it probably was changed my mind when actually I was 8 and I lost my dad tragically. So after that, I really looked at life differently, and I ended up going to school for child and youth care. And I worked at a restaurant, and that lady wanted me to be the manager of the restaurant because I love relationship and I was always so chatty with all the customers. And she's like, you would be great at this. She's like, I'll even pay for your school. But I'm like, no, my true passion is helping others. And yeah, you can do that in the restaurant business, but just on a different level. So I took the child and youth care program. And then when I worked in group homes and just saw, how tragic, how hard life is for kiddos that don't have those supports and resources that I did when something happened to my family, that I knew I wanted to help others. So I actually thought I was going to be a social worker or a counselor of an elementary school. And that's still a little bit of my dream. I have a friend that might step down for some of her hours. So I'm like, I'll do it once a week. Like, that would be perfect. But so yeah, I did that. I worked in group homes. I was an EA. I taught preschool. I ran my own day home because we used to live in Alberta. So I got extra accreditation money for doing my day home. And then probably 5 years ago, I had my first bout of depression. So I was actually working at a church full time, and we had a girl with special needs in our basement. I had just finished kind of juggled both of having still my day home part-time and my sister helping me in our house, and working full time, having a girl in the basement, raising 2 young kids, and then being a wife, being a friend, being a daughter, being a sister, all those roles, which you ladies know, right? All the hats. We had built our dream house. we were living the life. People looking in would think, yeah, they have a good life, right? We were going to the galas, we were having a good time. And my husband earlier that year had the same symptoms, and he was sharing his symptoms with me. And I'm like, that's how I feel. Like, and it's not good. And the red flag was when I started becoming suicidal. And I'm like, I need help. I often found myself crying in the closet at the church I worked and phoning a good coworker from before she left on a mat leave. So that was part of the reason too I was super stressed. But realizing it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I was doing so many things in my life like I feel like I should do, opposed to like if I really wanted to, I could. So that really stopped that cycle of just go, go, go. And realizing in the past, I was always busy with basketball. I was always on all these committees, go, 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 to trying to cover instead of feeling my feelings and just being me and going through those emotions. So yeah, I quit the job and I went out for wings and drinks with my best friend. And I said, I'm going to start my own business. Like back then I always loved buying clothes, and I loved meeting new women. And then even every job I've done, I love connecting with the adults. Like even when I taught preschool, I loved connecting with the moms in the morning or the dads drop off, making sure they were fine. I loved when I worked at the church, just connecting with all the volunteers, going for coffee, making sure they were okay. So just naturally, what I'm doing currently is I think what I meant to do. But yeah, so I quit the job. I told my friend I'm going to start a boutique. She's like, well, just wait. Like, at least give yourself a month. So I gave myself a month. I did nothing. That was still lots being a mom, and you still did all those roles. And then kind of just started it. I didn't research anything. I just ordered a chunk of clothes. I couldn't order from the big wholesalers because like you need proof to order from these smaller wholesalers. And now looking back, I probably would have done a lot different and researched more and would have saved a lot of money. But yeah, I went for it. And then 3 years ago, we moved here, and I had my boutique for about 6 months here, and it was still just out of my house and just through word of mouth. So I'm like, I knew I had to build up my business here. So I'm pretty extrovert, and I just pop beside other hockey moms beside me and ask what they do and what they're, yeah. And then it usually came out that I own my own business, and I posted a hockey mom shirt and it went crazy. So I got my first 100 shirts and sweaters done by a guy that actually lives by us. And I was asking him, I'm like, how can I help you for a discount? Or can I buy your supplies eventually off you? Because he was an older guy. And then I realized I could do this myself, because he's like, no, I'll just do it myself. And he actually smokes, so then everything smelled like smoke. So I'm like, I'm going to buy my own stuff. So I did that, and then I started doing customs. So did that for about a year. So I still had boutique a bit, did the customs, and then I went to meet with a coach, and I'm sitting with her, and the whole time she's talking, I'm like, I'd love to do this. Like, you're getting paid for this? Like, I paid you for this. So I'm like, I would love to do this. Like, this is so similar to what I did in college. And I didn't love working in group homes and being EAs with students that have behavior issues. And like, that just wasn't my thing. But I'm like, I love the relationship and working with women and empowering them. So I'm like, I can do this. So I started looking into different coaching programs I could take. And one popped up, and I took it slowly, and I was going to wait to do the exam. But the one day I'm like, no, just go for it. And I think I got 96 or 98 on it. So that was affirmation. I'm like, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, so yeah, I've been doing that. I think it's similar somewhat to you ladies, because then it's been just over a year, like, so early January, then I finished and got my certificate. And then I started my podcast, and I started doing things that I really love to do. I started hosting sessions with groups of women to love themselves, and I'm starting to do mother-daughter sessions that I did yesterday, and I'm going to do some more. So I'm just living my life, like your phrase you said, right? Like, living my best life. And I love it when I ask the women what they dream of and what's their perfect day. Lots of them say things that I'm doing currently. So then, you know, right? Again, that's affirmation. Like, I really am living my best life. I don't make millions, which I don't want to, but I really have a great life, right? It's not perfect, but doing some great things. So yeah, long about way. That's where I
I
got to
love
today.
that. I am so glad you took the long about way.
Yeah.
That is a fascinating journey. And Shannon, I felt like I knew you quite well, but I learned a lot of new information about your personal narrative and your personal journey. So thank you for sharing that with us today. These were some of my takeaways when you were speaking there. Was really the word should has no place. And you made a decision that you were turning that should into could. And the other thing that I heard is really good decisions happen when you're eating wings and going for drinks. Right?
Definitely.
And the
that
other
fills my that fills my cup so much. Going, like, that's usually my perfect day too. Going with girlfriends and going for food and drinks and a conversation, and the joy you feel after you leave that spot is just amazing, right?
Yes.
So
I'm with you. And then the other thing I took away as well is that don't freaking wait to be ready.
Yes.
Like, just do it. And yeah, in hindsight, like you said, you've learned some lessons, but what I'm hearing loud and clear from you is you wouldn't change it.
no.
You are where you are because you started before you were, the definition maybe of ready. So I think it's commendable. And I just was sitting here so inspired by your story, and it just aligns so much to the work that we do and how it complements with the focus and the work that you do as well. The other thing I really like, and I think it's important for our community to know, is I think our relationship with you, Shannon, is an example that could easily become, for some people, if they didn't have some of the skills and the experiences, competition. We do very similar things in quite a small community, actually. When you think worldwide, this is a smaller community, and you've made the decision, and we've made the decision that we cheer each other on. And we support each other, so much so that we hosted a workshop on setting intentions. We talked to you about some sponsorship for that. Absolutely. Not only did you help sponsor it, you attended, and you attended wholeheartedly. And one of the things that you said during that workshop is you referenced Lisa and I as wing women. And we're just like, I can see Lisa's grin. It's like ear to ear right now. It stuck with us so much that we have basically used that as a trademark moving forward, because you made that comment to us. That's your influence on us. And we also look back and go, you're one of our wing women, Shannon. And that's why it was so important for Lisa and I to have you on as a guest this season, because other women need to see what they're missing out on when they focus on competition instead of being allies and wing women for each other. And so I'm just curious, I have a question for you around this. I'm getting there. I'm landing the plane, I promise. My question is, when you are seeking your wing women, your team, your flight crew, what are some of those key characteristics that you find yourself looking for and looking at in that crew?
Yeah, I definitely look for you ladies, something like this. And it's just such an encouragement. I think, like, I was trying to remember how we even got connected. I think Lisa messaged me once to be on her blog, or she was featuring me, and I'm like, little old me. Like, that's just when I think I had my boutique. I don't even know if I was doing customs yet. And I just felt so flattered. And the times that women have reached out to me, and then it makes me remember I need to do that for others, right? Always be reaching out to the other ladies that feel like they're small, and really they're not small, right? Like, what they're doing can inspire maybe one person, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, right? And I've worked a lot on this for myself in the last couple of years. Some of my relationships have shifted because the more I've gotten to know myself and realize what toxic people were in my life, and how that didn't help me grow, that pulled me down. So realizing that I need to be around people that I want to be like, right? So I even read this book. It's called Relational Intelligence, and it talks about how you have your friends, you have advisors, you have associates, and then you have assignments. And so I think, like, you ladies as like other associates, right, or even advisors, right? I look up to you. your girls are killing it. You ladies are killing it, right? And just being inspired. And I also listened to a podcast, the difference between being inspired and feeling envious of others. And even for myself, like currently I'm working with a coach that I used to had to stop following for a little bit because I was so jealous of her and envious. But the more I worked on myself, it was nothing she was doing, but I was so, yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm not like her, and just comparing like crazy. And now I use her as a coach because I'm like, I had to work through things, realize I'm different. I have different gifts than her. I have a different journey, and my gifts are no smaller than hers, right? We're just on a different path. So it's cool how you can see yourself revolve. And I love how you ladies reflect on that a lot, to be like, look how far we have come, and then celebrating that, right? Like I have women in my life now that when I leave, like just like I said, you just feel encouraged. And I have realized to not meet with people that afterwards I feel gross and feel that feeling and feel like I didn't even feel comfortable sharing about my mental health. Like that's not good, right? So yeah, and even if it's people that your husband wants to hang out with or whatever else, right? And just having that conversation with your husband or partner or friends, right? And be like, I don't feel comfortable. So yeah, people around me are definitely inspirational. They're like my cheerleaders. My friends are, I'm like emotional. They're like family to me. And even you ladies, like, yeah, it's so cool when women that are aligned just like work together, and you inspire each other. And like, I'm currently writing a book, and they're just like, we want to read it, we want to help you. And yeah, it's just so cool.
Love that. I love that, Shannon. And you made such an important point when you talked about how women should be inspiring and supportive of one another, and not competition, because at the end of the day, there's only one Shannon, and you bring to your coaching something unique and special that no one else can bring to that. Just like, thank goodness there's only one Lisa and Angie, and we have our own special uniqueness, rather than looking at others as competition. And it's not easy. It takes work. It takes time for us to become more comfortable with who we are, in order to see others less as competition and more as a benchmark, or more as someone to aspire to be like. So that really resonated with me when you said that. And so you are a coach, just like Angie and I. And so we're curious. We know what topics we love to focus on and work through with other women, but we're curious, what are some topics that you focus on in your coaching sessions and in the courses that you offer?
Yeah, I love confidence and courage for women. I'm someone that goes for things, and I still have that little bit of fear in it, right? Like, what if? But that's something I've really worked on. And even the confidence, right? I've built a lot of confidence in myself, but then there's still that challenge and also fear of like, oh, again, right? I'm not like that person or whatever else, but knowing I am enough, and I do go for things, and yeah, I love it. And then also the negative self-talk that brings us down so much, and how we talk to ourselves, and we would never talk like that to our best friend or family, right, that we love dearly. So yeah, that's something in an exercise I do with women, that they're just like, oh, like, why am I talking to myself like this? So I would love to bring you guys through an exercise that I do.
I think that would be fantastic, but I have to say one thing first. Is that, I don't know if you noticed, but like Lisa and I are both wearing, I think we both have quite the line of clothing from Sweet and Sassy Boutique in our closets. Just going to say that first. But that is exactly what my shirt says. It says, you are enough. And I got that from you, Shannon. And I could wear this shirt every single day. And so when you're talking, I'm just like, you talk the talk and you walk the walk. And it just means so much. And thank you for passing those kind of messages along, because I wear this and I feel like I have a little extra pep in my step on the days that I wear this shirt. And Lisa, I think you have a shirt from Shannon as well that you're wearing, right?
Yeah, for sure. My one word this year, or right now, is worthy. That's the word that I chose. And so my shirt says, worthy of your wildest dreams. And Shannon and I worked through the design, and I, of course, if you know me, you know I love pink. And so it's perfect. I love it. And it's such a great Great reminder.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love those ones.
Shannon,
So,
it's all you take over. You're doing a takeover of Pep Talks and Prosecco right now. This is your show. Lisa and I will be your people. And those of you that are listening and watching right now, we really encourage you to follow along and implement this lesson, activity, exercise, whatever it is. Shannon's taken over. Just do what she says, guys. Okay? All right, here we go.
Well, do you guys have a pad of paper and a pen with you?
We do.
Yeah, just hold on.
Sorry, I should have prepared you for this crazy exercise.
No, this is good. I'm like going to rummage through my desk. It's all good. I love it. I'm going to make sure the pen works.
So you're getting some of my spontaneity, or whatever that word is.
Spontaneity. I love it.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so at the top of the page, I want you to write, you are, and then I want you to think of all the negative self-talk that you've had in your mind for all your life, different words, things that people maybe have told you, so then you started to believe. So maybe try to write at least 5 things. If you can write more, that's okay.
Okay, how many? And I don't like how many
5
already.
Well, 5. We'll do 5 for the time.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna hold mine up to the screen, and Angie, I want you to read mine out loud. Does that make sense?
It
Can you
does.
read that?
Okay, Shannon, you are not enough. Oh, I don't like this. You are dumb. You are, I can't do this. This is hard. Who gave her control of this episode? Okay, here we go. You are an embarrassment to the family. You are fat and you are ugly.
Okay, now I want Lisa, you to hold yours up.
Can you see them?
Yeah. So you are small, you are fat, you are dumb, you are loud, you are unemotional.
I think it's unlovable.
Unlovable. Okay, now Elise or Angie, I want you to hold yours up, and Lisa.
Okay,
right?
I'm like freaking out because my writing's so messy and I'm stressed and I'm a hot mess. All right.
I don't know if I'll be able to do this.
Okay, you tell me if you can see
I don't have my reading glasses on. Hold a little bit higher.
Higher? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. It covers my face. I'm happy about that.
So you are too much, fat, ugly, lazy, a failure, and I can't see the bottom one.
Not respected. I'll just
so I
keep
know
this here.
Yeah. That usually gets everyone crying, which I can feel that in your guys' energy, because it's not a fun exercise. And why are we saying these things to ourselves when we would never read that about our best friends or our good friends, or even I'm not your lady's best friends, right? But it's still so hard reading someone else's thought processes in their mind when you would never call them that to their face, right? So why are we saying it to ourselves? So I want you ladies to rip that up.
Don't have to ask me twice.
Yeah, if we had a big fire, we would burn that stuff up. Throw it away. If you don't have garbage, throw it away later. And now I want you to write I am on top. And write at least 5 positive things about yourself. So now we're going to read them again, and then I'll read mine, but then I want you ladies to give me 2 more words. And if this was a longer session, we would go more in depth, right? But just for the sake of time. So I'll read mine, and then you give me 1 word each to add to my list. So
okay. I
am enough. I am smart. I am inspirational. I am empowering. And I have good perseverance. So if you ladies want to give me 2 more words, then I'm going to write them down.
You are passionate.
Thank you.
You are hilarious.
Oh. That's awesome. I love it. All right. So Angie, if you want to go next and read yours, and then we'll give you more.
Well, you don't want me to show my printing because I did a really neat job now this time.
See, the unexpected. Never know what I'm going to
like sweat. All right, here we go. I am kind. I am loved. I am beautiful. I am strong. And I am me.
Who's going
I would
first?
I would also say you're resilient. Like, I only know you for a couple years, maybe. But yeah, I just see resilience in you and just like, you're a strong mama. I love it.
You are so fun. I'm picking that one. I could say about 10 things, but you are the fun friend. You always bring joy every time you come into a room. And I love that about you.
Thank you. I'm adding those to my list.
Yeah, make sure to add those. All right, Lisa, if you can read yours.
Okay. I am worthy, enough. I am beautiful. I am brilliant. I am more than my dress size. I am funny. I am caring. I am fun. I am lovable.
I love it. And I would say you're also super organized. Like, I love when you guys sent me the things. I don't know who it was. Well, Angie and you, but you're just very organized and like you have it together. You know what's happening. And I love it. That inspires me. Get my crap together.
Thank you.
And I would add that I'm so emotional. Holy cannoli, Shannon. I would add, Lisa, that you are incredibly generous with your, not just your time, but your friendship and your love. And this is going to be one of those episodes.
Thank you. Thank you. Whew.
Yeah. So
down.
If any more words come to you, write those down. And then I would encourage you ladies to even have someone else speak it into your phone, right? So if you hear it, someone else saying it and listen to it daily, I would like you to put it somewhere on a mirror or somewhere that you're going to see it daily. If you even want to put it on pretty paper, right? And you might have done this with your coaching groups, but it's just something, and make sure it's somewhere at eye level, because even I had it on a mirror, but low, so I barely look at it. And then I have one in my office, and even how I have to turn my head, I don't always look at it, right? So put it at eye level. And I do this in my groups after we share our stories and our paths. And some of these women have never met each other, but after hearing each other's stories, you're just like, you can tell them like millions of words, right, to describe them. And I have had people read each other's, right, because it is different when someone else is saying it to you, right, and you believe it more. So you are enough, you are amazing, you're inspirational, whatever those words are, and you're just like, yes, right? But how many times we think so many negative thoughts? The average person has 80 negative thoughts in a day, right? So how we need to change that and really be consistent in breaking that cycle of the conditioning, that the way of us thinking. So that's just one little exercise that I love. It's hard, but it's so impactful. And lots of the women for my reviews and surveys are like, that's the week that I was just like, oh, like it's hard, but it's just like makes you realize how awful you've talked to yourself in the past. And even on a daily basis, how you can be so mean to yourself. And just to stop yourself, right? Having that negative thought, stop it, and then switch it to a positive. Okay, what's the opposite of this? No, I am enough, right? So, yeah.
Well, that was incredible, Shannon. So just emotionally kind of uplifting, but also, you know, eye-opening in the sense that we tell ourselves so many things that we would never say to people that we care about. So thank you for taking us through that exercise. And for us, one of the things that we like to focus on as Wing Women with Wotherwill Group is habits. You know that about us. We talk a lot about habits and habit building. And so we're curious, what is one habit that you implement daily that you just cannot live without? You cannot live without doing it each day.
Well, it's hard to think of just one, because since I've been on this journey of healing and working on myself, I've implemented a lot of things. I love going for my morning walks and listening to a good podcast or a good Audible book. And I feel like every day I listen to something that's motivational and just helps with me learning something new. I also love a good shake in the morning. I love in the evening, I try to do my gratitude journal. So they do only have 3 spots to write 3 things, but this last weekend I did a conference and it talked about dreaming a lot. So it said to write 10 things. So 5 things that you currently are grateful for, so currently in your life, and then 5 things that you want to achieve. So it's kind of throwing it out there right into the universe or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's cool to see, because even I did this exercise with this group probably about a month ago, and I wrote on there that I wanted to get a new little SUV, new to me little SUV, and I realized, yeah, I achieved that. Not I realized, I did know that. So a couple of weeks ago I wrote a whole post on all these things that I've been working towards, and it's finally was coming like full swing and coming true. And it didn't happen just overnight. It came with lots of hard work and staying consistent. You know, you ladies say that, right? Consistency and being intentional in what you do. I always try to drink more water. All those little things. But so yeah, there's lots of things, but those would be some of my main ones.
I key It's like you have some key pieces in place for your morning routine and some key pieces in place for your evening routine as well. And I love your comment. It's little things, because it's that accumulation of doing all of those things with consistency that has big impact on your life, right? So whew, that's so good, Shannon, but we're not done with you yet, just so you know. Like,
I love it. Let's talk all day.
We can do this all day long. I love it. You know how we kind of end things with when we have guests on, is we like to put our guests a little bit in the hot seat. And you deserve this, I'm going to say, because you put Lisa and I in the hot seat today, lady. So we're going to back to you a little bit here. So we like to wind things up Wotherwill style before we wind things down. So what's going to happen is Lisa's going to get out her handy dandy timer there, and you're going to have 60 seconds. We have 10 questions crafted just for you. And when you think you're ready and Lisa's ready there, she'll give me the signal, then we'll go and we'll see if we can get through these 10 questions in 60 seconds. And just so you know, not that it's a competition, but this part of life really is. I don't know if we've had a guest able to do this in 60 seconds. So yeah, I'm
pretty competitive.
So Lisa, are you ready there?
I'm ready.
Okay, Shannon, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1, and we're starting right now. What is the favorite slogan you've ever done on a custom order?
Probably You Are Enough.
Your favorite movie?
The one with the Titanic.
What advice would you give your teenage self?
To love yourself.
Bucket list destination?
Paris.
What brings you joy, Shannon?
People.
Nice. Favorite song?
I Can Only Imagine.
Pet peeve?
My husband not putting his socks in the hamper.
Oh, right. What is a bad habit that you just can't shake?
My popcorn at night.
And your favorite habit that you can't live without?
My shake.
And your final question is, who inspires you, Shannon?
You ladies.
Aw.
58 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new winner.
Told ya, I'm competitive. I'm like, come on, Angie, talk quicker.
Yeah, Angie, talk quicker.
I never get told that. I never get told that I need to talk faster, ever. Never happens. So, Shannon, this has been, a roller coaster of an episode. I cannot wait for our community to tune in and listen or watch. So I'm just wondering, how can people connect with you if they're looking for customs or some of the coaching that you shared with them? They feel that that would be a good fit for them. How can people find you and reach out to you?
Yeah, most of my customers reach me on social media, so Instagram and Facebook, you can find Shannon Steeves, or at sweetandsassyboutique.ca, my website. And I think I'm still like Sweet and Sassy Boutique on both Facebook and Instagram. And then I do have an Etsy page, Sweet and Sassy CA, for that. So there's many ways. And I think right on my Facebook and stuff too, I have my phone number. So all those different ways.
Awesome. That's awesome. Shannon, thank you again for spending time with us today. I can't wait for this episode to air. It's going to be phenomenal. Awesome. Here's one final cheers to you. And thank you again so much.
Thanks, Shannon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, I don't know. Lisa, are we ever going to let another guest do a takeover of the podcast? Because
like, when we say that, truthfully, we didn't know that she was going to do that. Like, that was not something that we had planned. I mean, it was awesome, but it was also like, what is happening?
Oh, man. Okay, so this is what I'm thankful for. Mm-hmm. I'm thankful for Shannon being part of our flight crew. Absolutely thankful for that. And I'm really thankful for waterproof mascara. I just have to say it, because I was an emotional wreck, as you know, which was good. It was good emotions, but totally unexpected. It took me off guard, and it caused me discomfort. And you know what? That's where growth occurs. So Shannon, thank you for taking over, taking charge, kicking those shoulds to the curb, and leading Lisa and I and our entire Wotherwill community through that episode today, and especially the activity that you did with us. So I just want to end it by saying cheers to all of our wing women. And thank you so much, Shannon, for making this an episode we will never, ever forget. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Hold the freaking presses. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Are you guys getting a little bit tired about feeling stuck all the time? Guess what? Lisa and I have been stuck many, many times.
So many times.
And we found ways to get unstuck. So, Lisa, tell them how we can help them out.
Well, we want to be your wing women by offering you a 30-minute free virtual consultation with us. So if that sounds something like you're interested in, head on over to our website, wotherwill.com, and sign up for that consultation today. Cheers!